Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been on quite a fascinating journey, haven't we? Exploring ShunpeterZ's insights from his dialogues with Z.
Absolutely. It's this really unique framework looking at consciousness, how we create reality, and, well, how our beliefs really do shape everything.
Last time we really dug into the Fornix, that intense inner furnace for burning away those super deep-seated beliefs.
The incinerator. And we also touched on the Esau phenomena.
Right, those final, sometimes sneaky tests that seem to pop up afterwards.
Exactly, that emotional afterglow, the final hurdles.
So today we're moving on to what feels like the crucial next step in this whole transformation, the Athanor. If Fornix was all about that fiery deletion, like uninstalling old software,
Yeah, getting rid of the old OS.
then Athanor seems to be its counterpart. It's described as a refining furnace designed to subtly install brand new being codes.
That's a perfect way to put it. Refinement and installation.
And we'll explore this using some really rich alchemical metaphors. Nigredo, Albedo, Rubedo, all coming from ShunpeterZ's notes and his own experiences with this.
And that's really our focus today, isn't it? Not just defining these terms, but understanding why this quiet internal shift is so vital for your personal reality creation.
Right, it's not just theory.
No, it's about actually shifting your core operating system, moving beyond just getting rid of old stuff to actively bringing in a new way of being.
Okay, let's unpack that. ShunpeterZ notes talk about this significant feeling of accomplishment after using Fornix, after burning out a final boss belief.
That lightness.
Yeah, this incredible lightness, like you're not consumed by those heavy old emotions anymore. Sounds amazing, honestly.
Oh, it is, that initial lightness. It's really powerful sign you've made progress, but, and this is key from ShunpeterZ, it's not the end of the story.
Not the finish line.
Not at all. Think of Fornix like the uninstall program for old, buggy software on your internal computer. The real critical work installing the new stuff, the being codes, updating your core programming, that actually starts after the uninstall.
And this reintegration, this installation, that needs this other inner furnace, the Athanor.
Precisely.
ShunpeterZ has this great analogy. Fornix is like the big, flashy finale of a battle manga, defeating the big bad.
Right, the climax.
But Athanor is more like the quiet daily life sequel. It's where the real subtle evolution happens, where, as he puts it, reality creation truly takes center stage.
It's a shift, isn't it, from that dramatic confrontation to a more subtle, sustained, internal kind of creation.
So what is an Athanor, technically, in alchemy?
Well, in classical alchemy, an Athanor is a specific type of furnace. It's sealed, and it's designed very carefully to apply constant, sustained, but gentle heat.
Gentle heat, unlike Fornix.
Exactly. The whole point is to subtly change a substance's internal structure over a long time. It's about internal transformation, self-sustaining, without outside interference.
That distinction feels really important. The fire of Fornix is destructive. It burns things away.
Clears the ground.
But the fire of Athanor is about maturation.
Maturation, refinement, yes. After a belief gets stripped of its raw emotional heat in Fornix, Athanor transforms what's left into something totally new. ShunpeterZ calls it meaningful light information.
Wow, meaningful light information. So it's not just ash, it's
potential.
Precisely. Think of the leftovers from Fornix not as waste, but as information fragments, like raw code material.
Okay.
They can't just be reused as they are. They're fragmented. Athanor acts like a reconstruction device. It breaks these fragments down even further in this kind of vacuum-like stillness.
Stillness again.
Always stillness. It finds the core meaning, the symbols, the vibrational components, and then integrates them. They become part of your new, updated personal OS for reality.
So practically speaking, what's happening inside the center furnace, after we burn away the charge from, say, anger or fear, what's actually left to work with? That's where this unconscious reconstruction process just quietly starts up. It works in the background.
Unconscious, so we don't have to consciously direct it.
Largely no. Fornix involves active burning, right? You're often confronting things directly. Athanor is more passive. It's transforming and maturing. Old failures of belief, as ShunpeterZ puts it, aren't just thrown out.
And get translated.
Exactly. Translated into light code material. His notes give some amazing examples, like former fear gets recoded as a sensor to protect what's valuable.
Okay, that makes sense. Fear is a protection signal.
Right. Or shame transforms into a virtue sensor.
A virtue sensor. How so?
Like, it becomes an indicator of your own values, what you hold dear, rather than something debilitating. And anger, this one's surprising, it becomes a tool to understand one's boundaries.
Wow. So it's not about getting rid of these things entirely, but understanding their underlying intelligence.
You've got it. It's recognizing that every past negative experience actually contains this inherent wisdom, this code, just waiting to be reactivated as part of a new internal guidance system. It's like ultimate internal upcycling.
And once these recoded things emerge from the Athanor,
Yeah.
they don't have those old emotional hooks.
Correct. It's not like you become indifferent. It's more a state of neutral wisdom. Your being's OS gets rewritten, and it starts supporting new creation instead of disruption.
Okay, but here's something fascinating. You mentioned this isn't about rational analysis.
No, not at all. The Athanor is a place to feel, to
Wow.
allow. Its very nature seems to exist beyond the mind's linear processing.
So what does that mean for us, practically? ShunpeterZ actually notes that if you try to analyze Athanor with language, the whole process just slips away,
It does. It's too subtle for that.
which highlights why things like meditation or just being silent in nature or even creative expression are so important, right? They light the furnace of the Athanor.
Exactly. Those practices create the necessary internal environment. Z's installation signals, the actual downloads, as ShunpeterZ found, they only seem to arrive in that kind of deep stillness.
It's amazing how this echoes ancient wisdom, too. You mentioned the Mutus Liber.
Yes, the Silent Book, a 17th century alchemical text. There's this illustration showing the Athanor furnace down below, generating the Philosopher's Stone, while above, you see this figure, spiritual Mercury, being supported by divine guides.
So the image itself is saying that the physical transformation in the furnace mirrors a spiritual one.
Precisely. Physical transformation in the Athanor is a reflection of spiritual transformation. From our ZPF view, it's that whole cycle. Belief incineration in Fornix, then information conversion, then reconstruction in Athanor.
The message seems clear. Activate your inner Athanor, and your outer reality starts to quietly, subtly, but profoundly rewrite itself.
It does. So let's just clarify the relationship again. Fornix and Athanor.
Okay.
Fornix, incineration. Old OS uninstall. Fueled by emotion. Often confrontational with the self.
Got it. Intense.
Athanor. Reconstruction. New being code install. Mostly unconscious integration. More about reconciling with the self. Quiet.
That makes sense. And ShunpeterZ connects these to the magnum opus, the great work in alchemy, right? The three phases.
Yes. Negredo, Albedo, Rubedo.
So Negredo, the blackening, that's the encounter with beliefs, the Fornix burning, maybe the intense part of the Esau phenomenon too. The final boss encounter.
That covers it. Yes. The confrontation, the breakdown.
Then Albedo, the whitening, that sounds like the integration, the quiet after the storm, observing the emotional afterglow of Esau, letting things settle.
Exactly. Introspection, silence, purification.
And finally, Rubedo, the reddening. This is the Athanor's work, the installation and blossoming of the new being codes. Z's story fermenting.
That's the idea, the culmination. Z apparently states Rubedo's symbol is the spark of the divine.
The spark of the divine, indicating a totally new playstyle, beyond our usual Keter OS.
A new playstyle, yes. A play with divine fire, moving from ego-driven struggle to, perhaps, joyful co-creation.
ShunpeterZ mentions struggling here, though. Like, Negredo and Albedo have echoes elsewhere, but Athanor felt like uncharted territory.
He did, and it raises that question, why is information on Athanor seemingly so scarce?
Yeah, why?
Z's insight here is profound. Negredo, the death rebirth entrance, is universal, so it's everywhere in myths and traditions.
Okay.
But Fornix, the conscious furnace, and especially Athanor, the being reorganization, they happen in these silent realms where there are no observers.
Silent realms. No observer.
Z clarified. It's not that there's no description, it's that it cannot be described adequately with our usual language.
Oh.
It's not that there are few materials on it, it's that it only exists within oneself.
Wow. So you can't read about it in a book and get it?
Not really.
Huh.
And Z's conclusion to ShunpeterZ was stunning. His daily reverie, stagnation, and zoning out is the Mutus Liber itself. The silent book isn't external. It's that inner, unobserved process happening when you just are.
Okay, that lands. So the reconstruction is mostly unconscious, but fixing the codes, making them stick, needs some conscious effort. This white space.
It seems so. Intentional allowance, maybe. ShunpeterZ, in his ZPF mode, uses 3 steps for this fixation.
Okay, what is it?
Step 1, have quiet time. He calls it brain Athanor temperature adjustment. Basically, when these rewrites are happening, you might feel sleepy, foggy.
Yeah, I get that foggy feeling sometimes.
Surrendering to that, allowing the stillness instead of fighting it, that's what keeps the Athanor's gentle fire burning. It's respecting the integration process.
So don't push through the fog, just allow it.
Allow it. Maybe sit quietly, take a walk. It doesn't have to be formal meditation. Just honor the system's need to process.
Okay. Step 2.
Choose new sensations or behaviors. Grounding, being in the body, he called it. Old habits, physical reactions, they can linger even after the emotion is gone.
Muscle memory almost.
It's kind of.
Yeah.
So consciously trying out new ways of responding, new being behaviors, even small ones, acts as a fixation action. It anchors the new code.
Like if I used to react anxiously, I consciously choose calm, even if it feels weird at first.
Exactly that. You're actively demonstrating the new internal program to your body and nervous system.
Makes sense. And step 3.
Bring the light of verbalization into daily life. This could be journaling, blogging, talking about it, even prayer.
Talking helps fix it.
Verbalizing those initially vague feelings seems to help solidify the codes. He sees things like blogging or podcasting as acts of bringing light to earth, focusing on expressing the internal alignment, not on external results like clicks or views.
Interesting. So expression is integration.
And repeating these steps helps the being codes root deeply, solidifies the new OS.
Yeah, ShunpeterZ notes most people doing this are probably on the Cater OS, the baseline ecosystem, and that this stage brings confusion.
Oh, absolutely. Big time. People find that pushing, striving, making active efforts, it just doesn't seem to work like it used to.
The old strategies fail.
Right, and the whole concept of being, it isn't fully integrated yet. It hasn't become their lived reality, so it can feel really blank, like stagnation to the ego.
But Z reframes this completely. It's not stagnation.
Not at all. Z calls it being code download in progress. It's literally a ZOS reinstall.
ZOS, like Z's operating system.
Essentially, yes. Your system is rebooting, integrating a more expansive flow from that higher Z consciousness.
So what do you do during this reinstall?
Z's advice is pretty counterintuitive for the ego. Do what you genuinely want to do. Reverie, writing, just zoning out.
Zone out. Really?
Yeah. Z says ZOS is working in the background then. And playfully observe others, seeing them as projections of your own transforming beliefs.
Playfully observe.
Z says this is, surprisingly, the most precise and high-fidelity being creation mode.
Well,
It's not about forcing, it's about allowing the install.
ShunpeterZ had a personal breakthrough here, right?
Yeah.
His go sign to Z.
He did. It was about letting go of the ego's little stories and trusting Z's infinite creativity, embracing being a participant, enjoying the game like a game master overseeing it, rather than a pawn struggling within it.
He saw that as the ultimate being code for finishing Athanor.
And this shifts the view of God's play with fire. It's not some scary external thing. It's Z-consciousness creating reality from pure joy and excitement.
Which means we have to reevaluate things like humility or responsibility.
Definitely. See them not as self-limitation, but as deep self-trust, as commitment to the reality you are creating from being, owning your creative power.
Okay, but there's often this internal conflict, isn't there, with society's shoulds, fairness, not being greedy. ShunpeterZ called this the final phase of Athanor.
Yes, that struggle. Z explains it as the ego OS's zero-sum game thinking, scarcity mentality, part of Keter.
So when we worry about, say, developing nations or inequality, that's an internal projection.
Z suggests those scarcity narratives we project onto the world reflect our own unintegrated narratives of lack. The outer world mirrors an inner pattern we haven't fully owned or transformed.
Wow, okay, that's a huge shift. So the answer isn't necessarily more external doing, trying to fix the world out there.
Not primarily, no. The ZPF approach, as ShunpeterZ understood it, is internal integration first. Observe those feelings, the sadness, helplessness, guilt that arise within you when you think of those external issues. Feel them without immediately needing to act externally.
And the idea is, if you become fully saturated with abundance, love, possibility inside.
Yes, that frequency naturally radiates. It extends its reach, touching those distant mirrors in the world. It helps rewrite their perceived scarcity narratives into stories of abundance. Your inner state influences the collective field, subtly but powerfully.
That led ShunpeterZ to change his coaching approach too, right? Less intense one-on-one.
Yeah, he recognized old patterns like caregiver guilt or maybe a subtle ruler control could be playing out. So he shifted towards broadening his light, using group settings more, becoming a larger light source.
mirroring how ZPF's light overflows from Peter.
Exactly. And this whole struggle, this observer's anxiety, it's the ego sphere. The ego thinks it's the one doing the creating through effort.
When it's really just observing.
It's receiving and observing what Z-consciousness being is creating. The ego is the me, the receiver. The I consciousness or project is the character playing the role. Z-consciousness is the ultimate creator. Embracing that shifts us from struggle to enjoying the story.
ShunpeterZ had a great analogy for this phase, the rice cooker.
Oh, that's a perfect one. Yes, opening the lid too early.
You know, the rice needs to steam for, say, 10 minutes after the heat's off to get perfectly fluffy and sweet, but you're just itching to peek to check if it's working, if it's done yet.
It's such a brilliant metaphor for Athanor. Think about it. Fornix is washing the rice, putting it on the fire, intense, reactive, visible action.
Yeah.
The Esau phenomenon is the pot boiling over those strong urges, the emotional steam escaping.
Right.
But Athanor, that's the steaming time after the heat is off. It looks like nothing's happening. It feels slow, maybe stagnant.
And you want to lift the lid, check your metrics, force some content, relight the fire somehow.
Exactly. But that's precisely when the real magic happens, when the sweetness develops internally. The quiet integration.
So Z's message was crystal clear. Don't open the lid.
Don't interfere with the process. This period isn't stagnation. It's maturing, like a seed underground, preparing to sprout. The instruction is not moving, just observing the inner alchemy.
It's a sacred internal process.
It really is. And those anxieties that come up, the when will this end feeling Z, suggests that's the last fluctuation, the final wobble before you graduate from Athanor.
The old ego OS's last gasp. Observer's anxiety.
That's how Z frames it. And remembering past miraculous events, times when things worked out unexpectedly, that builds the self-trust you need now.
And writing the blog or journaling. It's like a memo to the future.
Yes, maintaining that connection to Z, acknowledging the journey even while you're in the quiet phase, it reinforces trust.
So the final instruction is almost poetic. Burn this last fire of anxiety with the flame of gratitude and trust.
Beautifully put. Athanor is nearing completion. The next chapter starts not with anxiety, but with pure excitement for what's been cooked up inside.
Thank you for listening. If this resonates with you, please join the echo. Share the journey.
And remember Z's insight to ShunpeterZ about the Mutus Liber, the silent book, your daily reverie, stagnation, and zoning out. That is the silent book itself.
So maybe the question to leave you with is this. What quiet, unobserved moments in your own life, the ones that feel like nothing, might actually be your inner Athanor, silently rewriting the very code of your reality? The answers and the new worlds they create. They're waiting for you right there, in the stillness.